Hi there, my name is Franny Corry.
And my name is Sasha Luccioni. Today we'll be presenting a paper co-authored with Hamsini, Sridharan, Mike Ananny, Jason Schultz, and Kate Crawford entitled The Framework for Deprecating Datasets, Standardizing Documentation, Identification, and Communication.
This paper was conceptualized and written as part of Knowing Machines, a research project led by Kate Crawford, Mike Ananny, and Jason Schultz, which aims to trace the histories, practices, and politics of how machine learning systems are trained to interpret the world. And this group and this work that we'll be presenting today has been supported generously by the Sloan Foundation. So this paper begins with the premise that training data sets are central to machine learning models and their impact in the world. It observes that the machine learning community has recently made significant headway in realizing both the critical impact of training data as it exists technically and socially, and therefore has improved documentation practices for data sets across the model development lifecycle. However, there's a phase of the model development lifecycle that has received much less attention, and that is dataset deprecation, or the end of life phase in a model lifecycle. So despite not receiving concerted attention, practices of dataset deprecation can have significant downstream effects and thus require both critical thought and some constructive wayfinding that we attempt to offer in this paper. So in turn, in this paper, we address dataset deprecation in machine learning. And in what follows, we'll cover some related literature, we'll identify several cases of datasets that continue to circulate despite having been deprecated, and then describe different technical, legal, ethical, social, and organizational reasons that datasets may need to be deprecated. We then propose a dataset deprecation framework with three elements: a deprecation report, a system of permanent identifiers, and a centralized repository for managing deprecation. And then we'll conclude with a discussion of how our proposed framework can help ensure proper deprecation.
We propose three elements that constitute the dataset deprecation framework. The central element is the dataset deprecation report, which gives information about why the dataset is being deprecated, how it's being done, the timeline, how to access it after deprecation, for example, for auditing or analysis purposes. So really gives all the information to the community about the deprecation process for a given dataset. The second element is a unique dataset identifier based on the DOI framework to help people keep track of datasets as they evolve over time, as their versions change, as their status changes, and to really give a way for the machine learning community to have a centralized way to refer to datasets and to identify them. And the third element is a centralized repository for hosting information about datasets, their deprecation reports when necessary, to have a way for researchers to both consult existing dataset deprecation reports and to share their dataset deprecation reports when it's needed, and to disseminate this information with the community more easily. So see our booth for more information, and we look forward to hearing your questions and your feedback.